Welcome to On the Chain. This is Chip. Jeff is not joining us tonight, but we have a special guest here filling in on very short notice, may I say. This is none other than Alex. You know him better as Coining203 on Twitter. What's up, Alex?
What's going on? What's going on?
It's good to have you join the chain. And gosh, I think you're probably one of our more frequent guests. We haven't had on you in a while, but you have been on a bunch of times, so it's really cool. We got a lot to unpack, and I know you got something to say about a tweet, which I think we're going to cover, and Alex is going to go full throttle on this, but we're going to talk about the SEC. We're going to talk a little bit about, XRP, Ripple, what they're doing. They continue to keep going on with these partnerships, and we got a lot coming up that we're going to throw in that grab basket. So what do you say we get started? You ready, Alex?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
And bam, just like that, we are back. So, initially, this whole thing, you've been putting out some amazing tweets, and I have to really thank you for putting out those videos, because sometimes I can't find the video, but you've been breaking down the videos, some of the stuff with the Charles Gasparino, and you've been throwing stuff out there, but tweeting a lot of great stuff out there. Another valuable member of our community. So if you guys aren't following, Alex, I'm going to drop his, I'm going to drop him in the chat over here. Let's see. It's just, hang on a second. I got to go find this, but yeah, we'll drop you in the chat. Here it is. So follow Alex. Great person in the community. Follow. There it is. Just dropped it in the chat window. So go, if you're not following him, go follow him right now. But what are your thoughts, man? There's so much craziness going on right now.
So there's a couple of things to it, man. It's not, I don't think it's just happening, right? It's not there's too many things happening, right? All of a sudden, like September 15th or something like that, we start getting mainstream media coverage.
Yes, we do.
Out of nowhere. Now everybody wants to pick up this story. There's a couple other things that happened that slips my mind right now, but it's just like boom, right after another. We had the dip, we had another dip, but then all of a sudden, the court case, things are ramping up. Like right after when the SEC was supposed to give over those documents for in-camera review or whatever that is, we start getting all this stuff. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's all a show. Definitely all a show. We'll just have to see how the rest of the year plays out.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody reached over and keep flicking switches. Okay, now this part of the movie is in play, right? I mean, and then this next part's going to get started, right? It does sort of have that sort of feel to it. But now you alerted me to this tweet right here, and I want to put this up because I think this would be a great place to start the show tonight. But let's just put up this tweet. This is none other than Rosie Rios. She sits on the board of Ripple. But let's kind of go over this tweet, and then I want to get your thoughts on. She says, XRP's primary purpose is facilitating cross-border payments. While other cryptos find value in speculation, China's latest move brings us the point home. Hashtag Ripple, hashtag RippleNet, and she even hashtagged Bitcoin. So let's break this down. What is she really talking about here, Alex?
So a couple of things. I want to start off with who Rosie Rios is, right? She's the 43rd treasurer of the United States. Everybody who's watching the live stream, if you have a dollar bill, open it. Let's look at it. You got cash on you? I don't got no cash on me.
I never have cash on me. My kids take all my cash.
Yeah, I don't carry cash anymore.
Cash, fiat currency, no.
Yeah, so if you look on the
look at Mr. B says coining. Jeff and Chip will be taking us to Abe and Louis and Boca after the settlement. Well, dude, hang on a second. Jeff already chose his steakhouse, which I'm down with. I'm cool with either one. So we got to see how this is going to pan out, because we got a little bit of a bet going. We got coining and Mr. B on the settlement side, and then we've got Chip and Jeff on the no way in hell that's going to happen side. But probably one or the two will happen. But I do think that it is possible for the judge to go ahead and do a summary judgment, because SEC is getting out of hand. But let's talk about that later. But go ahead, man. I don't want to steal your fire here.
No, it's all good, man. So we look who she is, right? 43rd treasurer. Her name's on the $100 bill and at the 20 and I think the 1. She says a currency designer, millennial, post-millennial advocate, historian, educator. She is, in all words, a badass. With somebody like that put their reputation on the line to talk about XRP or join the board at Ripple, you know, even if I don't know how much she gets paid, but money for me, money's not gonna put I'm not gonna put my reputation on the line for money.
Right. Good point.
So would she tweet that if XRP was a security and it's gonna disappear and go to zero? Would she really tweet that? Think about it.
I mean, given who she is and given what she's done, and you know, she also sits in on one of these sort of like I want to say it's like a live, I want to call it like a game show, but she's one that sort of evaluates companies, and you know, she's done an incredible amount in her life. I mean, I almost feel like this doesn't do her justice. You know, like currency designer. Yeah, that doesn't sound that significant. You know, the 43rd treasurer of the United States, that's a big deal, right? This is it right here. She co-hosts Unicorn Hunters, where on the show they bring in people, and she's one of the sort of like judges that evaluates them. I've only seen like snippets of it, but she asks a lot of hard questions. I saw her raking somebody over the coals on one of the snippets that I saw, and she was like all about business, Alex.
So it's like a Shark Tank type show?
It's like a Shark Tank, yeah, where they're looking for, I think it's like funding or something. It's called Unicorn Hunters, and they're looking for that next unicorn, which is $1 billion plus, you know, company. Goes from startup to billionaire status, and that's what they're looking for in the Unicorn Hunters, and she's on that show as well. But do you think they chose her just for the hell of it on that show? I mean, or because of who she is?
I mean, but look at the lineup on that show. I'm looking at it now. I think I see Wozniak. I see some other people I don't. Apple. Yeah, Woz from Apple, and a bunch of other people I don't recognize. But they're pretty much, you know, for them to be up there means that they're badasses on what they do.
Yeah, man. They're just not somebody that's like insignificant. So yeah. So going back to the tweet here she is, you know, saying, but you know, if you think about this, here's obviously a former treasurer, 43rd treasurer of the United States, but when she's putting up XRP's primary purpose is facilitating cross-border payments, where other cryptos find value in speculation. Now, I could be wrong, but that sounds like that's a throat punch to Gary Gensler. Like, dude, you got it all wrong. That's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like.
I think that's laying down the gauntlet. Like, you know, there's how many coins? There's like 10,000 coins now. And, you know, let's talk about use case and utility. Let's talk about what these coins actually do. I see value in coins that actually do something. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've all played the gambling game of buying some shit coin and trying to flip it. But real coins with real utility and real value are few. There's, you know, I think there's less than 25, less than 50 actually. But she's essentially laying down the gauntlet like, hey, XRP is one of the coins that does what it says it does and has a real use case. And all these other coins are just speculative in nature. You know, I don't see a lot of other people having a treasurer talk about them.
But she also hashtagged Bitcoin too. So I'm wondering if, like, you know, you talk about speculation. And one of the things Gary Gensler said in one of his, I don't know, he was on one of these interviews and he's like, oh, you know what it was? It was his interview with the Washington Post. And one of the big pull quotes from that was, cryptocurrency is a highly speculative asset. Well, guess what, dude? Life is a highly speculative asset. Everything is. Stock market is. You know, it's like, you know, you can go in there, you can lose your ass in the stock market too. Highly speculative. Yeah, it's regulated to some degree, but when you start looking at the P&L sheet, you start looking at the risk that every company's carry. When you read those reports and you look at them, and I look at the risk, I look at the competition, who the risk is, and they're losing money. They're losing money. They're carrying a lot of heavy debt, and their stock is rising. Now, how is that possible? How is that possible with a company who's losing money hand over fist, carrying a crap ton of debt, and the stock is moving upwards? It almost doesn't seem like. Now, is that speculative? I mean, how it, you know?
Manipulative, maybe? Is that the word?
Manipulative is probably the better word, but it seems like nobody has a problem with it. They have a problem with GameStop. They have a problem with millennials making bank because they were able to seize a moment where they saw what the big boys were doing and like, hey, we can gather around, we can all hang together, and we can all pull the trigger and we can blow them out of the water. And now, is that wrong? Not really. Not when you're over leveraged on an asset.
There's so the video that Mr. Gensler put out the other day.
Mr. Gensler. Oh, okay.
I got Mr. Gensler.
Okay.
Mr. Gensler.
Gensler. Okay. All right.
Mr. Gensler put out. He said, by 65, you'll have 3 million if you start saving earlier and you get like 0.04% on a bank account. Where are your bank accounts at? Who are they with?
Right. Now this one, and man, I have to say, Rob Licker put out. I'm gonna see if I can find Rob Licker's tweet. I think I have it in here somewhere. He made me laugh. He puts out some funny stuff, but he's like, he made a comparison. I'll see if I can find it. But Gensler's like $5 a week. You can put you can put it at $5. You can make 8%. I'm like, dude, 0.008. Or if you live in Europe, you're going to be paying. You pay the bank to store your money. They're not paying you. And I'm like, what plan? And why is he pushing banks? Like the worst place you can put your money long term is a bank. I mean, technically, you're not, unless you're earning some interest. But now, if you have enough money in there, you could potentially be earning interest. But I wanted to put this up here. Let's see. Hang on a second. It's always hard to. Yeah, here we go. So Mr. B says, $5 a week, and you two can have 120 million, just like Daddy G, Daddy Gensler.
Exactly.
Daddy G is worth 120 million. So Alex, the next question. This begs the next question. What is a guy who's got $120 million net worth messing around with the SEC job? What's it about?
He was appointed, right? So somebody
appointed, but you want to work at 120 million bucks and like hanging out?
He was appointed, right?
He was appointed. Yes, he was.
He was appointed, right? So when you're in that position, it's like a ladder. It's a stepping stone to another position. Now you look at where have the previous chairman of the SEC gone? Where are they working out? How much are they invoicing?
How
much are they in billable? What's their billable rate now compared to when they were at the SEC? I don't know his motives, but me, if I was in that position, it's a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone to somewhere else that, he might be bored. He might be bored and he wanted to go do that.
I don't know. I think it's a few things. Power tripping a little bit, like kind of what you're suggesting. But you're right. Hinman and Clayton both went to, both are getting payday, right? They're getting paid. They're doing well. They're sitting on boards. They're collecting a lot of jack. I want to throw this one up here. Tony Morissette said, wow, Chip, life is a highly speculative asset is making me think. Yeah, because almost everything you do in life is a risk. I mean, there's always some kind of a risk going on. And then we got Robert Quinlan here. Thank you for the support. He says, hope you don't get in trouble for me sending you a security. Man, just send me a security, Quinlan. What are you doing, man? Send us a security? What is going on over there?
Hey, did you register that? Are you a registered broker to send that security?
Oh, no, man. Oh, no. And I'm not even an accredited investor. How do you like that? How do you like those bones? I don't have to be, but that's the whole thing. The whole thing is starting to look a little bit rigged, right? It's like, wait a minute. We don't want you earning interest anymore. We don't want, and I got to tell you, Peter Thiel is the one that kind of blew the one open to Congress where he's got $5 billion sitting in a not a 401k, but what's the one that the private version of that where you can put your money in there tax free? $5 billion he stashed away tax free. Now Congress is looking back going, whoa, we don't like when the commoners do this kind of stuff. Not that Peter Thiel is, but if he's showing you that he could store that money away, what about the rest of the people? And we can't have you guys making this kind of jack. We can't have you making yield. But I got to ask you about this. What about the winners and losers? Now, it seems to be that, Ethereum got the pass, you've got AAVE. They can earn all the yield in the world. Meanwhile, Coinbase wants to roll out a program where you make 4 measly % yield. And all of a sudden, boom, blow it up.
So a couple things. Banks make a lot of their money in fees, right?
They do a lot.
If I go earn 4% on Coinbase.
There it is, Roth IRA. Thank you, Mr. B.
Thanks, B. I go earn 4% on Coinbase. Who's gonna lose out on my fees? Who are we really a threat to? Exactly. So I got a lot of shit in my mind. And
Alex, come on, let it fly, man.
I gotta be careful what I say.
I know what you. I know you're holding back. Jeff and I do that too. It's like, do we say that? And I'm like, because sometimes he's like, except for Saturday mornings, because Jeff's like full on like rant, and usually during the week I'll say like, I probably should. I don't know if I should have said that, but not in the sense that it wasn't like we talk truth and stuff. But I got to tell you, since I've been doing a lot of that. We got 120 subscribers in the last 6 weeks. So we're getting throttled by the G. I'm not going to say the full word, but getting throttled right now. And we're like in purgatory hell because, no suggested stuff, no more new subscribers, no more of that. Not for you guys. No, you guys are talking about threatening, the existing systems, talking geopolitics, throwing that stuff in there. And, but you got to just go back to being like, just sort of a little bit more kind of like open,
my Twitter sidebar, my Twitter account has been, limited. And
I saw that. I saw that you got hit. Didn't you get a strike weren't you down for like
I was down for a couple of days and so I, someone called me and was like, hey, relax. So back to the whole banking thing. Who is what we're doing a threat to? It's to the banking systems. You
were going to say cartel. You were going to say the cartel, right?
It's the banking cartel, the banking systems. But I mean, on the other side, we got to look at it both ways. So what if by Coinbase, by the SEC allowing Coinbase, it may mess up something, Bank of America may have with a company like Ripple. You don't know. It may mess up that in the future because there was a patent going around. So we got to look at both sides of the page. We got to look at everything from all different perspectives, I'm going to be hated for what I'm about to say, and I might lose some followers, but whatever. Not everyone at the SEC is bad.
No, Hester Pierce is
not everyone that works at the SEC is against crypto.
Right.
You have 2 or 3 bad apples that are in positions of power, but I can tell you that not everyone at the SEC is happy that Ripple got sued.
But Alex, that's exactly why I think strategically, Reisman and Pierce came out in July on that when they gave the opinion on that. It was really prominent in there where they said there's just not a lot of clarity going on, and if there's not a lot of clarity, we just don't know. So wait a minute, 2 commissioners of the SEC are putting out a public paper, public statement in July of 2021 while this court case is going on. But supposedly Ripple was supposed to know in 2013 till now, even though they were communicating all along the way, even though they communicated on the MoneyGram deal and so many other things, right? But now they get hit up, and let's throw this tweet up here. Let's throw this one up here. Go ahead.
So I question everything. So that when that tweet came out, when that letter came out, Reisman and Pierce, Purse, I was a little skeptical. Like, are those 2 commissioners really going up against the chairman, possibly giving Ripple a bone on this case? How do we know that wasn't planned by Gensler and Purse and Reisman? I question everything 100 times, and I question myself 100 times, because nothing is what it really seems. And from just traveling all over the world and my life experiences, we tend to have a bias towards things, and then you got to kind of step out of the circle, step out of your bubble, and then look at everything and try to put the pieces to the puzzle together. Like, again, I'm probably going to say this and people are not going to like me for it, but I still doubt that Gasparino dude from Fox Business. What's his true motive? Why now? Why is he talking about XRP?
Well, I think it's getting, first of all, I think, look, he made the jump. I think part of it, my thought of it is he made the jump from CNBC to Fox Business, right? Mm-hmm. And he's gotten his little digs in there at CNBC saying, they're not covering this. They don't talk about things like this. So I think a lot of it is it might be some of that, but also too, I know if you know his politics too, if you know what he's tweeting, he wrote up a really phenomenal article that I read today that was in the New York Post, and it was just it was an op-ed piece, and it was spot on, you know, and it's like, so I kind of look at, it does seem out of nowhere, and it does seem daily, and he's starting to hashtag XRP community, XRP Army, but I do think that he is seeing something here that doesn't look right to him. And I think he's going all in on it because he sees that there's a lot of excitement about it. He sees that it's not being talked about, not only on business shows, but I think he's seizing an opportunity. But I do see what you're saying there, which is interesting there.
And
so,
then,
hang on
correct.
one second.
Go ahead.
Jeff, you there? Jeff, you ready to come in?
Yep.
Ammo, there he is.
Oh.
What's going on, dude?
Hey,
You made
what's
it.
up, Alex?
All. Now we got tres amigos.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Dude. How are so
Holy cow, I had to drive here down a dirt road that was all rutted with like.
oh, dude, I drove from Miami, and I
in
don't.
the dark.
I was hanging out at a house turned into an Irish pub today, and Alex jumped out of the pool and was
That's
actually
awesome.
cool to put a shirt on because he had like almost like 15 or 20 minutes notice. But hey, man, we were just talking about this here in the matter of the coin schedule, and this was when Commissioner Peirce and Elad Roisman, they threw out this statement here. We'll jump to it right here. Hang on a second. I gotta just type in clarity because that's what it is. Clarity. Let's see. There it is. So there's a decided lack of clarity for market participants around the application of the securities laws to digital assets and their trading, as evidenced by the request that each receives for clarity and the consistent outreach to the commission staff for no action and no relief. So, I mean, so Alex and I were just chatting about this, like this whole thing about, was there something going on? Alex was just doubting before you popped in here, but he was just doubting the whole thing with what's it, Charles Gasparino. Well, go ahead and reiterate that whole thing with Gasparino.
What are his motives?
Questioning everything tonight. Everything's on the table right now.
I'm questioning everything. Like, why now? Why the XRP community? I saw that Mr. B posted that DAI was blasting him, and it got his attention. And I appreciate the attention. I appreciate it, but just every day it was something. Like 2 days ago, Friday, I was on my motorcycle. I pulled over to start recording the videos to put it up, and I'm like, all of a sudden, Brad is on the Liz Clement show, and Liz was like all weirded out. She was like, but they've talked before, right? They correct me if I'm wrong. He's been on the show, but if you saw her vibe when they were talking about the XRP and the Ripple lawsuit from the first time they talked about it, she was like, why all of a sudden now? Like, I'm pretty sure he has the greatest intentions and he just wants to get a story out there. But it's just back to back, day after day, he's tweeting something and he's retweeting some stuff that, the community's saying he's being a voice for the community. Appreciate that, but why?
So
interesting. I like that.
Tony Morris that says, "Hey, good point, Alex." But I think Charlie Gasparino is generally reporting the story. So,
yeah, and it's interesting because I always look at things aren't just all of a sudden coincidental. It's just like the timing does seem a little bit suspect, but it kind of came out of nowhere as a big voice for the community in terms of this asset, and he's hammering the SEC.
Hammering it.
Same thing. Finally, there's a big voice that's also saying, hey, you know what? There's something wrong. There's something wrong at the SEC level. Maybe it was Coinbase that, had something to do with it. And he's seeing all these different cases that are stacking up right now with the SEC. So their response to Coinbase, obviously the case against Ripple. Now, if you follow the Reddits on GameStop, there's a lot of commotion within GameStop right now as well. And you see a lot of passion coming from that community, outspoken against Gary Gensler. But maybe this Gasparino is coming in at that moment. I don't know. Maybe he's hanging out with Brad Garlinghouse.
No, that's cool. I mean, and I appreciate it, but I just question everything at all times. Trust but verify.
But here's the thing I look at too. I look at Gasparino. I know exactly what his politics are. He penned an article an op-ed today in the New York Post, which I read, which I thought was very interesting. But I don't think he likes overreach. I think he doesn't like, his politics and stuff. I'll show you this right here. This is what he threw up there. The latest in Wall Street's presidential losing streak. And he goes on to talk about, oops, they did it again. Well, Wall Street has a notoriously horrible record in recent years of backing presidential candidates who sound on paper but ultimately turn out to be dud, and add Biden to the list. Not only the C-suite executives, the big investment houses and banks conceding in private, they worry about the misstep could be costlier for the country and possibly the business models in the past. I was like, oh, wait a minute, a politician that lied? What are you talking about? That's pretty much the model, right?
Well, he's a bulldog he's a bulldog New York Italian, says Mr. B. So I give him the benefit of the doubt for now.
I don't know why I'm all over the place today. I'm like a little bit skipping, but man, bad time to have like issues with the computer. But I want to throw this one up here. Garlinghouse tweeted this out. Thanks, Liz Clayman and Charles Gasparino, for having me on the show. As I said, American innovation is on the line because of the SEC's refusal to provide a clear framework for crypto. It is kind of cripple, but I want to
wait. He said there's clarity though.
Oh, but
he said there's clarity. It's perfectly clear, right?
Yeah, it ticks the prong of it. You rely on a company that they're going to do well, and because of that, you're going to. He keeps going back to that, and it's like, dude, it's got to tick all four prongs of the Howey test. And what happened in an orange grove 70 years ago doesn't really mean much to us today. And then we got this here where instead of working with the industry, the SEC is using their meetings with companies as lead generation for their enforcement actions. Of course,
what do you guys think about that? I mean, that they've paid out ridiculous sums of money for enforcement. They just paid out another $36 million bounty that they gave to somebody for turning as a whistleblower for turning somebody in or a group in. What do you guys think about that, Alex? What are your thoughts on that?
Question: what is the difference between what's going on today and me trying to set up a shop down the street, and then the local goons come say, hey, you want to set up a shop here, you got to come talk to me first?
Yeah, gotta pay your insurance money, leg breakers, right? It's not kind of sounds that way, right? I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, come in and see me. Come in and see me.
It's a little Tony Soprano-ish for me. Like,
it's a little bit leg breaker. Hey, he goes, once the dust settles, it'll be clear the ripple's on the right side of the law and the right side of history. And we say that all the time here. Where Gensler is just going to be another dud. He's going to go down in history as the dope who could have actually done something, right? He could have come in and said, now what I look at Hester Pierce's her whole approach with the safe harbor. She rolled it out the first time in February of 2020 when Chair Clayton was still there, ignored like it didn't exist. She went out and promoted it. She's like almost like the bad apple. Like, we don't like the crypto mom being a commissioner. Then she rolls it out in April this year, the 2.0 version, made a couple changes, give them 3 years to do that. Gensler never mentions it, never talks about it. Now, what if he said, hey, look, until we get Congress to have some sort of regulatory framework, until we really have something to enforce, we're going to take this approach until we have something, like nothing about it, because he doesn't want to do that. He wants the enforcement action. He was going to Congress saying, hey, we need more people to do more enforcement. And with this bounty, like Jeff's talking about, it seems to me like your main mission is to protect investors. Well, where the hell is that happening? I saw one action from the SEC this year. They actually went after a company that was committing fraud. They were using users' data in a way that wasn't part of their terms and conditions. That was fraud. But they actually went after somebody and did their job. But with digital assets, I'm not seeing it.
No, I like. Where's this
so
one?
A couple things.
There you go, Alex, right there. The mob left New York and went straight to Washington. That's Darren Digiormo there.
That's nice.
So I remember back in January, I had a conversation with Sergeant Obi-Wan, and I think with Mr. B also. And, we were all hyped about Gensler coming in and he knows crypto. He taught at MIT. He's gonna be, he's gonna be this go-getter. He's gonna be this hard charger. He's gonna understand it all. The lawsuits, he's gonna drop it. And then now it's just like, he's a moron. But
I'm open to tears from my eyes for you.
No, I'm serious, and and ever since that, I'm just like, all right, I gotta question everything and trust but verify everybody who is in this crypto space. What's that?
Ripple strikes back. That's SEC words. Ripple strikes back. Available at our merch store. Anytime you want it, you want to proudly go that. There you go, boys and girls. Yeah, that's something fun.
Yeah. So I mean, he is. That Safe Harbor Act, whatever it's called, that should have been the play. That should have been, hey, let's go with this route until, Warren and Bitcom can figure this out.
Hey, by the way, dude,
there's a lot of that.
I don't know if you knew this. Did you know that Alex Cobb was in Hocus Pocus? This is one of Alex's tweets right there, man. I didn't know that either. Did you? The hell, it does kind of have that. I'm just looking through your tweet stream, man. This is funny stuff. Alex Cobb. It was an Hocus Pocus. Oh, no one knew. I did not know that. That's weird. And then there's this one here, which I think is here's another fun one. They're trying to shake you out. The quantum financial system will go live when the case is settled. Those 100x gains are all distractions. London's ready. Black Swan overnight. Look at the iPhone camera. Ripple partnership confirmed. 589 end of years and a price prediction. Bitcoin the prototype. Switch will be flipped. This means XRP to the moon. And Gematria. Yeah, if I see another Gematria, you can put almost anything in there, and it says 589 is like it.
So the Gematria thing is based off of your cookies and your metadata on your computer.
Oh, there you go.
It's based off of what your search history is, so it'll try to match whatever.
There you go. That makes more sense, really. If I see another one of those, man, my God, they're too much insanity.
Yeah.
So
so every time I have to post my tweets, like I have to try like 6 times to post my tweets now, ever since like last week.
But what was the one that took you down though? What was the one that you put out? If you can talk about it, let's not go crazy. Let's not get on the chain like any more than we can get hit, because we are beyond the slowest growing YouTube channel. We are dead in the water at the moment. You can put up a video full of FUD about nothing, and you'll get 15, 20, 30 subscribers. Not us. No. Not possible.
I was referring to somebody as a moron on every single tweet. That person was tweeting.
Can you say who it was? Was it a politician or was it like a government official?
He's your daddy.
Daddy G did not like that. Daddy G, you're a moron. You're a moron, Daddy G. He's like, I don't like this kid. Who is this? Got to get rid of him.
I did not say that.
Well, listen, I wanted to put this up here. Go ahead.
Hey, Chip, before you do that, I just wanted to take just this is kind of funny. I was browsing around and I was looking at returns that these different groups have, or different individuals might have on their investment portfolios. Did you guys see there's a hamster over in Germany that has a 24% return on his investments so far year to date since June? So check this out. So he's called Gox. So it's the Gox box, like the Mount
Gox. Yeah.
Like the Mount Gox. So this is the hamsters thing, right? So you got his office cam. He has an intention wheel to where he decides, what he's going to buy. And here it says you have decision tunnel, so he can buy here. So he either can buy or he can sell, right? Obviously you got the portal. There's all these different things going on, but when we get into it, it's hilarious because look at this. So his name is Mr. Gox, and he's been trading. Look at this, 24% on his portfolio.
That's incredible, dude. It's better than my portfolio.
That shit's better than mine.
Yeah,
24%. Does anybody know what he's trading, dude? Does anybody have access to his inside info?
Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I think Doge. I think there's a couple that he's been trading on.
So, I retweeted something about that story and I said, it's the power almost of randomness. Sometimes randomness is better than your randomness, like your decision making or your thought about it. There's something built in about randomness that can just be accelerated to a point of where you get 24% return. And maybe this little Gox hamster, maybe he's a genius. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean, he doesn't even know. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, boom, now we're up to 30% return on the money. Right? But anyway, speaking of Daddy G, someone, this was Tag put this tweet out. He said, Gary Gensler needs more money. He's only about to get $120 million net worth. SEC, do you think Gary Gensler actually gives a crap about you? And of course, I tweeted this because I thought, like, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm just going to say no. I don't think he does. I really don't. I don't think he's looking after my best interest, guys.
What do you think his billable rate is going to be once he leaves the SEC?
Now you missed this conversation, and Alex highlighted this. This is interesting. If you're worth, as I said, if you're worth $120 million, what are you doing working? But then Alex brought up, well, where's his next move? Where's his next jump to? And what is this the stepping stone to? If Hinman and Clayton can go off and get cush jobs making bank, it's a pretty good theory, Alex.
Yeah, but I like that. I mean, his billable rate is going to be, significant, and he's got 120, but an extra 100 or 200 million in the bank. We're talking about, I mean, he's got semi-generational wealth. He's going to lock himself in maybe, 200, 300. He doubles down, maybe can build his portfolio to $1 billion.
What's his speaking fee going to be once he's done? What is it going to cost? I mean, Janet Yellen, she was getting paid by Citi a couple $100,000 or $40,000 for like a 20-minute Zoom. What's Gensler's going to be? What's his going to be after he's done? Look at things like that. And that's why I say, man, trust but verify every single piece of data you see everywhere. Exactly. And look at it outside of the box. What I do and what I recommend people do is put your holdings and your bias towards XRP, put it to the side and forget about it, and then try to look at it and analyze the tweet, the post, the news article, whatever's coming out from somebody who's just dumb and doesn't know anything about crypto.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of questions to ask. I only have so many hours in a day, but the questions I like to ask, usually they kind of like lead you to the similar place. And it's like the question I ask the most is, it's not really a question, but it's like a statement: follow the money. You start following the money, and they always sort of kind of lead you to like, okay, I can start finding motive. I can find, because you follow the money, you follow where it ends up, you find out where it happens. Attack Titan sent this tweet. He said, hey, I asked the SEC a question. Hello, SEC. I have some questions around cryptocurrency. In light of recent activity, I'm concerned that the cryptocurrencies like Ethereum that I have purchased on 3 major reputable U.S. exchanges. And this was the response. Obviously, he's blocked that in his email, but he said, they wrote him back and I said, thank you for contacting the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Please note that cryptocurrency exchanges are not regulated security exchanges. Since you are seeking guidance about cryptocurrency investment, we recommend that you carefully review the director's take here at investor.gov, blah, blah. We also suggest you review information about our spotlight on initial coin offerings and digital assets at blah, 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 blah. I hope this is helpful. Stephen Johnson, Special Counsel, Office Investor and Education and Advocacy, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, I don't know. I want to put his number on there. I know people come blowing his phone up, but
so I asked this question. I sent an email back in 2018 to the SEC specifically asking about XRP.
Did you get the same form letter?
I got some watch this video about investing in crypto or some shit like that. I'm like, come on, man.
So what, you watch this video, and then the funny thing is you put these links up there, investor.gov, and they're probably the same things. They copy and paste it in there. But it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's.
So hang on, I gotta pull this up here. This is another interesting one. You guys know South Park, right?
Never heard of it, Jeff.
No.
So no one's ever heard of this. So this is a Morgan Stanley executive and it's hilarious because he's he's referencing that Bitcoin is anti-fragile. He said it just like Kenny from South Park, who dies every episode but comes back again in the next one. It's just
well, that's so funny as hell, man.
I like to say that Bitcoin is kind of like Kenny from South Park, you know, the guy that dies every episode and comes back. It's just funny because, you know, every time Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin comes back, you know, and it comes back higher. So this is the guy.
So how many times have they killed Bitcoin in China? You know, how many times has it been banned in China?
Yeah, how much is China holding really for real, man?
Here you go. There you go. Like Kenny from South Park, the primary cryptocurrency has been proclaimed dead more than 400 times. Despite its price crash throughout the years, it has always managed to overcome the difficulties. And now 12 years after its creation, it stands as an asset with a market cap of almost $1 trillion. So you think about, you know, some of the things that they were talking about, 2018, some of the headlines: Bitcoin is dead. It's the end for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a bubble. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. It's worth noting that the asset's USD value had crashed heavily, and not many people expected it to recover, but it did. You know, so now we know where it sits today. We know some of those that have bashed it, and then we also know some of the big names in the space: Michael Saylor, Anthony Scaramucci, Steve Wozniak, all praised the cryptocurrency as superior to gold. You know, so this, you know, I see these, and it's such an interesting dynamic when you see the media and the media slandering things and making up stories and flooding stories, and, you know, that they have no concept of what's going on in this space. Even to the point, you know, Jim Cramer had been, you know, talking about the whole Evergrande thing over in China, and he's saying, sell your cryptocurrency because it's going to be devastating for crypto. I said, what about the rest of the stock market? It's just crypto. That's it.
Yeah,
the stock
right.
market's not gonna turn bearish because of that. But he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to crypto. So why would we be listening to him?
So I kind of saw something on that article, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier, Chip. You said Steve Wozniak. What's his take on crypto?
Oh, I think
is he pro crypto?
He's pro Bitcoin. I know that. He talks a lot about Bitcoin. I don't know about the rest of the altcoin market, but
so if he's I just went down a rabbit hole. My ADHD is flying right now.
Let's let it go.
So you said Steve Wozniak, he's pro crypto. Who's he on the show with?
Rosie Rios.
All right, so
Unicorn Hunters. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's in XRP. I wonder if they ever have a conversation about XRP. Like, you know, she's sitting on the board and like, she's like, you know, you know, those $100 bills that you light your cigars with? My signature's on there. So, and by the way, that's this finger. That's not, you know, I don't want to look like I was flipping a bird. Not that, but no, I'm just saying, like, by the way, he like rolls them up, you know, puffs on his things. He's got that FU Apple money, you know, sitting there, and, you know, he's happy. And Woz is like the kind of guy that, you know, and I hate to say this, but you don't think he's still going to be around. Like, you don't think in like 2021, he was the guy that like outlasted like Jobs or all these, you know, all these other prolific guys. And because, you know, he's a little, but I mean, you know, look, he's probably going to live to be like 96 years old. I don't know. Woz is a cool dude, but he kind of lost it after Apple. I don't know. He kind of went in some weird directions. And you know me, I'm a big Apple fan, but Woz was instrumental in the beginning. But I don't know. I just thought he would do other things like that were cool. I don't know.
I mean, I am 100% sure that there's a lot of people who hold XRP who will never publicly say they hold XRP, or at least not yet.
Not yet. I think that's.
But I know for a fact there's a lot of people with a lot of money who hold a lot of XRP.
So, Jeff, on Saturday's show, I was in the chat. You were ranting, but Tony Morissette brought it up about the Lightning Network, talked about Twitter tips and all that, you know, possibly, you know, the potential impact on the remittance market this could have. And want to throw this up right here, but here's Jack Mallard said, today we took a giant leap in growing global interoperability with the world's first open monetary network, Bitcoin, today's largest global network on the web, became interoperable with the open monetary network inclusive to all. Buckle up. Craziest thing you'll see today, an instant free cross-border payment on Twitter. Twitter's integration with the Strike API turns Twitter into one of the best remittance experiences in the world. Here's the view from my phone as I remit to El Salvador. So there's he's gonna play the video here. So there.
Oh,
That's
my
the video.
goodness. Sweet.
So I don't know. Yeah, of course it's. I don't know.
Learn to
I
For
don't
some
watch
reason,
TV,
it's
man.
anyway. It's not even playing, but doesn't. Oh, here it goes. I guess I'm gonna play it here. Here it is. There it is. So he goes, okay, file David Dobrik, or I don't know who he's sending it to. David Parkett Barty. Send him a tip. There's the he wants to send him I don't know, $10.
$10. Nice.
Changing the world. Open your wallet. Enter your PIN. Pay via Lightning Network. Send. It's looks so
dope.
easy.
And
That's
done.
dope.
You sent $10.
Dude, that's amazing. You know, Chip, I'm glad you brought that up. Because Tony was talking about that yesterday, and I was trying to figure out, is it something new? But utilizing that, he was asking, and Tony brought up, he said, is there going to be a major impact on the remittance space? And I said, you know, the only two that really are going to be impacted, well, there's more, but the two primaries, MoneyGram and Western Union, to an extent, you know, because this is showing it on the tipping side. But if you have another app that allows you to move, you know, there might be some limitation through utilizing whatever platform they have. However, P2P is relatively small amounts of money. I still think if you're moving big money, if you're moving institutional size money, it's going to go bank to bank. And banks, you know, let's hold that term loosely, because a bank could be what we know as a brick and mortar bank, or it could be a Coinbase or an Uphold, or, you know, some other organization that becomes a bank that starts utilizing the major rails that a RippleNet or that a Ripple has for RippleNet or R3 or something else is going to have. You know, that's how I see it. I think they're going to be the, you know, the bigger. I don't know if you guys see it differently. What, Alex? What are your thoughts?
I agree with you, man. I see like a evolution coming. Like it's we're living the evolution of the financial system and the financial infrastructure of not only America but the world. And where we're going now, like, you know, is Twitter now. What's, you know, one of the most downloaded apps in the world is WhatsApp. So we're gonna get to a point that we're gonna be able to send money through WhatsApp. So I agree with you, man. It's just we're in the first days of the internet. You know, we're 1994 right now. And you know, we're early. We're very early, and where I see the world going is a very digital world. And everything has to, you know, the beer virus and how that's affecting how the world, the bear flu, how that affecting how everything's happening. And it's kind of giving the little nudge, hey, move faster. And it's just in a couple years time, you know, we're going to look back at tonight or today or this year and be like, oh, damn, man, only if we knew what we know now. Right. And assets that have real use cases and that have people behind them are the ones that are going to survive.
No, that's right. I like positive developments like this, you know, but why stop at Bitcoin? I mean, yeah, I get Jack, you know, Dorsey is a Bitcoin maximalist, but this whole tribal thing is wearing thin on me. It's like, you know, when you have what's going on in El Salvador, it's like, yeah, dude. I mean, El Salvador, like their GDP compared to how much money they were spent in remittance payments, it's like it was extraordinary. And to be able to send somebody a little Bitcoin, they all have Bitcoin wallets. I want to play this video because this is a kid in Chicago sending it to a guy in El Salvador, and he's sending it via this, you know, via the Strike API and the Lightning Network via Twitter. So I think this in itself is impressive, but, you know, is it going to be on a massive scale? No, I mean, if I got a buddy in you know, who lives wherever else, and I want to send him something via Twitter, dude, I'm not sending my Bitcoin to anybody. Okay. I'm not selling Bitcoin. When I'm ready to sell my Bitcoin, I sell it. But like, I'm not even going to mess around with a little tiny payment and a wallet and stuff. That's just me. But I'm not a maximalist. I'm a hodler. So
what I think Bitcoin is a proof of concept.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on. But it's also a place to store your money and pretty much be safe from inflation, right?
So on the the geopolitical scale, and what, you know, Michael Saylor, Nayib Bukele, and all these other countries. I think it's a proof of concept. I think it's like they're rolling with Bitcoin now because Bitcoin has the name. Everybody knows Bitcoin. I was walking up to people in the airport, like, hey, you know what Bitcoin is? Well, you know what XRP is? And the very few people that knew what Bitcoin was did not know what XRP was.
Right.
So I think it's just, hey, we did it with today. We did it with Bitcoin. They're doing it with Bitcoin now because of the name, the name and the clout that it has behind it. But I think they know, they know what the XRPs and the XLMs and the, and the Algorands are.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, look at this. James Rule. I just sent XRP that fast.
Look, his look at the amount. It's his 589.
589, man. James Rule doesn't mess around, bro. It's 589. I thank you for that, James. But look. I mean, if you're here and you don't know James Rule XRP, a phenomenal YouTuber, has his own channel, obviously. Great friend of the On the Chain show. I gotta tell you, man, he gets paid in XRP. He's living the crypto dream. He gets paid in XRP, not in fiat currency, not in Bitcoin, XRP. And when he sent that right now was because he's got an uphold card tied to his XRP, and bammo, there it is right there. That's why we know that XRP is not a security, right? So thank you for that. And also wanted to throw this up there from none other than the big legend, Notorious, who threw in a super sticker. Thank you for that, Notorious. Really appreciate that, man. Look at this. Hey, dude, check this out. Austin Numerota said, damn, Chip's hair is fly. Look at that, man. I'll take it. I was having a bad hair day. I'm thinking things are working out around, man. Things are working out.
Hey, real quick, open up an XRP chart. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I just saw somebody said the price is moving.
Let me see. Where? Which direction? Which direction is it moving?
In the good direction. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Hang on.
Hey, if I can, man, can I give 2 quick shout outs? These people have helped me out a lot. So,
go ahead,
Mr. He's on Twitter, Mr. XRP6. Solid individual. He's awesome. And then XRP Shark. Everybody, please go follow those two. XRP Shark is solid. Very, very, down to earth. I talked to him on DM, and then Mr. XRP6. Both of them are very solid individuals.
All right, man. Well, dude, why don't you do this after the show too? Send a tweet out too, so people can and tag them in there, so people can follow.
Gotcha.
Do that too. But that's all. I always like people that are. All right, so 0.954 is what XRP is, but bigger than that is, look at XDC is almost about to hit 15 cents. So that's making some move. That's up 18%, and XRP is up 1.9 on the day. So there you go.
I sold all my XDC.
All right, that's good.
A while ago, and this is store. It hurts. It's a boo boo that hurts still.
You know what, man? I have an expression for that. Like they could last me for the next. The thing about it is you can't get stuck on stuff like that because you just got to go on, man. You got to go on, And I always look at this too as like people are like, oh, dude, I could have 40x'd my money, but instead I only 20x'd it. Oh, dude, take the fact that it's good and then run with it. But let's look at this video. I think this is outstanding.
Yo, we're here in Chicago.
Okay.
And we've got David here in a Starbucks in El Salvador. David has his Strike account linked to his Twitter account, and we're gonna make a free, instant cash final remittance payment over Twitter. So I'm gonna go search David's Twitter account on my phone. I'm gonna find his tips button, and I'm gonna send David $10 over Twitter.
You want to send me a tip? Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, hey, send me your Zum wallet real quick.
You want to send me a tip, bro?
Yeah, send me your Zum wallet.
Lightning Moon wallet. Anyone in the world can download, and I'm just gonna hit send. And boom. We just made an instant free remittance payment from Chicago, Illinois, USA to San Salvador, El Salvador over Twitter. Why would anyone ever use Western Union again? When you take one of the world's largest social internet networks and you combine it with the world's best open monetary network,
There you go.
Twitter
Scan
accidentally
away.
becomes one of the best
All
remitting
right.
experiences in the world.
Easy.
This one singular
That's
payment
it.
standard and this one singular open monetary global monetary network
Oh, wait.
is
Can't see it.
dematerializing
Can't see it, it's all-
existing monetary networks.
Oh.
Western Union, pawn to E4. Your move.
Boom.
Well, I think there's one missing element in his video when we talk about Western Union and and MoneyGram, and part of that issue is really going to be, okay, you get to Bitcoin with if there's Bitcoin ATMs, that's great, but let's say there aren't, and so you have an individual that is making money in fiat right now. In the future, maybe they'll make it in a digital asset, then they can move it, through Lightning or through Zum or through something else. But many of these individuals that are moving these small amounts of money through remittance,
Jeff, hang on a second though. Well,
Bitcoin or something.
Jeff, I don't know if you caught that, but while that video was playing and he was yammering about that, Alex sent it to me. I had it in 4 seconds, and that's it. Boom, there it is, right there. Boom, he scanned it. It was there. He showed the payment, complete, done, full remittance, end to end, done. So that's impressive. But look what they have to do. They got to connect a Strike wallet. They got to click this. They click over here. You hit your wallet. You do this. It seems a little clunky at best, right?
Yeah.
But thank you for that, Alex. That's awesome, dude. Look at
I need my money back, bro. By the way,
I'll send it back, bro. I'll send it back next week.
Send it back when you get a chance.
Look at this. You got Bad Hair Club, which sometimes I'm a member of. $5 for this. Jeff, you think this shipping container scene could affect the markets in any way?
Oops. What's that? Let's see.
Jeff, do you think the shipping container scene could affect the markets in any way?
Do I think the shipping container scene could affect the market?
I'm glad he asked you because I'm not sure what shipping container scene. I make houses out of them,
Are we talking about in California? Are we talking about?
Yeah, like off the coast.
I know what he's talking about. He's talking about, so if you look on there's a website where you can see where all the ships are around the U.S.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of ships on the East Coast and the West Coast that have like 30 days that have been denied entry into the port. So I think he's asking him if that can affect. The markets.
They're trying to create shortages. Apparently, that's what I'm thinking. They're trying to do. There's a long, especially off the coast of California, man. They're just waiting.
I need to go buy toilet paper.
Yeah,
dude, I just stocked up on a whole bunch of it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. But I got to tell you, man, and I promoted this before, and I know people don't care about it, but one of the greatest things that I made an investment in last year turned out to be it's probably one of the greatest things you could ever purchase. And I will show this to you online here, but it's called, Jeff's going to laugh at this. I said, Jeff, if we're going to be pitching stuff, we can't be pitching stuff like accounts and stupid things like, get yourself a cold storage wallet. I'm like, hell no, dude. We need to be pitching this shit right here. That's a tushy, dude. The greatest thing in the world. It hooks up to your toilet, and that son of a bitch blows a stream that'll knock you into next week, right up the old, and I'm telling you what, man, it's the greatest thing. Look at this. This one has a warmer on it. I don't, in Florida, we don't need warmers. I mean, if you're in Chicago and, like in January, you're probably going to need the warmer. Then they've got ottomans and they've got the travel one. By the way, that's the greatest thing ever too. I travel with that. It collapses and goes in my backpack. And they got bamboo TP, dude. Okay, because it's.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I gotta say this.
You gotta get it, dude.
So
everyone's doing it.
I watch your live. I watch the live streams like half of the time. I catch them 3-4 times a week. I catch
That's
most
not bad.
of them.
There you go.
I catch most of them, and my favorite part is I call them the chipisms. And you go on these tangents on these sidebars. I love it, bro. Squirrel, man. I'm just like part of one right now. I'm like, right on, bro. We go from talking about like financial policy to bidets, bro. That's
dude,
awesome.
You should see how that works in my meetings, man. It gets a little weird. Like we're doing corporate meetings and stuff. I'm doing the corporate meeting. Everything's perfect. We're talking about this and the law. We talk about all the stuff. And then all of a sudden something hits me. I'm like, hey guys, you ever seen it? And you always know you can sort of gauge the temperature of your audience, how they react. And then I have a colleague too who's a big a joker as me, or maybe worse. And like, so he'll throw a joke out there, and sometimes he'll get like a funny thing, and other times like a fart in church. You're like, oh, I wish I would have said that, but okay, we kind of know what's happening here. We're all good, right? I don't know what this means, but Ani said soap. I don't know what that means. I just thought it was random. XRP panic. I like that. Biden needs one. And then we got this one from Speedboat, XRP Speedboat. You can hide a ledger cold storage wallet in that portable tush cleaner. You sure? That's not a bad idea, man. Look at the way Speedboat's already thinking. He's already got his mind copy tuning.
My brother just texted me. He's watching. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Carlos. Oh, we gotta get Carlos on here, man. We gotta hear some stories about you guys growing up. I bet you there are good ones there, man.
No.
Yeah, Carlos. He's like, I bet you there's some good stories, man, growing up.
Oh, there's a couple. There's the one with the midget. There's the one. Oh, no.
Man, that's by the way, I got a great midget story one of these days I'll tell. But again, this happened on a corporate scale, and I almost got thrown out of a conference because a lot of people bring booth babes, but nobody thought about bringing 10 little people to a conference that wore shirts and that had sayings on them, and the promoter stopped me and said, "What the F are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, man? We're just having a conference. We set up our booth." I'm like, "People love it." She's like, I'm gonna kick you guys out of here. I'm like, "Why would you do that? This is a hit. Everyone loves it, you know." So that happens sometimes. No, I know you can't say that. And by the way, yeah, I mean this. I'll have to go on that.
Sorry. X Supercar XRP Supercar, and then hey, you know what? As we're kind of on
is that your brother, Carlos G?
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah, with the big old moon. What's up, Carlos? Shout out to Carlos. Glad he's watching. Carlos, go ahead and subscribe, man. You may never watch it again, but just come on, man. Get that, tickle that little blog. What do you call it? That Google, whatever it is. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
they got bamboo towels too, bro. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, I haven't seen it before, but I'm noticing on your chat that you got a bunch of spam. I'm telling you, man, they shut down my Twitter account. I'm sorry if you guys get shut down.
Yeah, no,
how did they do that? How did they sneak that in there?
Go after these guys.
Guys, shut that down right now, please. The webcams.
Yeah.
Somebody shut that down. Well, we had a weird incident the other night. Alex, this is weird, right? Like 4 spammers came in and they paid for spam. They each paid like $5 to get a spam comment up there. And turned out one of them what was an interesting project that Jeff and I did sort of like workshop and take a look at. But yeah, guys, shut that stuff down right there. If there's any mods in there.
Hey, you know how there's a lot of talk. We're seeing the other side of what's going on in El Salvador. They're basically saying there's pushback and resistance in the streets, people protesting the rollout of Bitcoin in El Salvador.
So they say.
And then you see this article pops up, the other side of the reality. And here it says the Bitcoin wallet has more active users than any Salvadorian bank. So how do you like that? More than 2 million locals are already actively using the Bitcoin wallet. There you go.
That collapse that narrative, Jeff, huh?
Real adoption. Real fast. The IMF, forget about the IMF, forget about the World Bank, forget about any other organization that basically came as central banks, whatever, that want to attack what El Salvador was doing. And boom, there you go. 2 million. And there'll be more because all these people are going to start realizing very quickly that, right now in absence of any other crypto yet to be rolled out, because it's just a matter of time, it's better than fiat. It's better than their inflationary currency.
But look at all the propaganda they spread. Everybody's protesting. And they get that real tight shot with like 4 or 5 signs. And they try to make it look like the entire town's like out against it. Meanwhile, I saw a line wrapped, like it was a queue wrapped around the blocks for people trying to get to a Bitcoin, one of those kiosks. So, these narratives sort of collapse because, people read them. They're like, oh, that sounds like something there. I guess the people don't want it. Meanwhile, the one beach town, they've had it installed for 2-3 years. A lot of expats from the U.S. and all over a bunch of countries that's kind of how the adoption started. I think, and it's amazing. By the way, Carlos G, this is Alex's brother. What's up, guys? Cool to be here. Thought I would subscribe. So you better, man. Holding you to it. So, so it's all good.
So man, It's great. I'm glad I was able to bounce in here for a little bit and be able to hang
Okay,
out with.
let's just end on this right here. Tony Morris, it says, unpopular. The rest of the crypto market deemed a security in the U.S. What happens to these crypto securities? Exit strategies, investors that transfer crypto securities to Charles Schwab accounts? It's an interesting question.
So that right there, if I may,
Please.
and that goes to the comment that I made earlier, right? Fees. It all comes down to fees. Who's gonna take over the fees? Who's gonna take over our trading fees? And even if that happens, people say all the time on Twitter they don't want you to hold these bags. They want you to sell. You know, who's they, right? And I think they is the banking, the banking conglomerates, the JP Morgans, the Schwabs,
Cartels.
the cartels, and the people, the politicians. Let's say somebody holds 10,000 XRP, or somebody from 2013 owns 10,000 Bitcoin. How much is that worth today? And is that person? They don't know who that person is. They don't know what politician that person backs. They don't know what that person wants to do. So it's all a matter, and I think it's all a show. It's all to track, and I think that $600 metric that they placed, that the IRS is going to be able to watch any account that has that over $600. I think that's going to come into play also. Another space that my past life, look at who the government is hiring, and what they're doing. Look at here while I do this, those type of things. So I think that question that Tony made is awesome, because it's just going to pave the way. Are they really going to let Coinbase, a place like Coinbase, they don't have a phone for support, eat their lunch money, eat their lunch with their own money? Come on, man, that's not gonna fly. So no. I think we're gonna move into a space where, we can buy XRP and we can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we're gonna have to go our Chase.
Say hello to Aaron. That's Alec. Just say hello to Aaron there. That's Jeff's son. So off he goes. Man, it looks like he's growing the hair out, man. I like that. He's looking a little hippie-ish there. He's getting a little crazy with that hair. I like the hair. I think he needs to grow it out a little bit more, man. It's kind of looking good, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
It's looking good, man. It's looking good. So, hey, guys, so listen to this, guys. Man, we're like 6 minutes overtime, but I thought we should roll a little longer. Just maybe got closing statements, because, I got to thank you, Alex, for coming in here at short notice. I know you jumped out of the pool, kind enough to put a shirt on. Look at how big he's getting, man. Look at those freaking arms, turning into a monster, man. Probably in the gym 6 hours a day, right? Is Carlos, is he close by? Are you guys working out together? Or is he in other state?
No, he's down by you guys.
Oh, he is. All right. Well, man, that's cool. That's awesome, man. You probably should hang out with him and get some stories on you, man. Get some dirt. But yeah, man, it was awesome that you jumped out of the pool, man, in a short notice. But thanks for hanging with us tonight. I really appreciate it. Jeff, I was so shocked that you came in here. I was like happy. Jeff came in. Three Amigos ride again, man. This is great.
We got a fire going on out here too, so I gotta go out there in a minute.
Well, I hope it's under control. I hope it doesn't burn like that. It's not under control or anything weird. I mean,
no.
If you need help, call Daddy. He'll protect you.
Daddy G. Daddy G.
I've got Daddy G on speed dial.
He'll protect you.
But Jeff, he won't answer that phone. You got to use the old giant heavy 1950s phone you have.
Have that here
that you have back at the homestead.
I've been trying to figure out. I had some questions for him, and he's not answering, not picking up. Now I know why. That's exactly what it was.
Daddy G. Well, anyway, any closing remarks, Alex, on the way out?
Trust but verify. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. And if my account does get banned for some reason, Chip will relay my messages for me.
I will get them out there for you, and we'll get you set up on a new account. We'll get you a special new account. It would be something random like coining 204, something like that, right? Something like that.
Lemon Tree 101, man. Lemon Tree 101.
Yeah, XRP Lemon Tree. Who was that said earlier that you needed a lemon tree in the background?
Yeah.
It's your very own lemon tree, man. Look at mine. Mine's killing it tonight. You guys don't have a lemon tree. Mine's crushing it.
The only lemon tree in the space.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. There you go. You got a little bit of foliage there, Jeff. You're losing. You got nothing.
I've got.
You don't know a plant. You don't know a flower. Nothing, man. You're done.
Go outside, but it's dark out there, and then you can see a lot of foliage.
Yeah. Is it cooling off? Is it nice and cool, or is it kind of sticky?
Yesterday was raining and cold, and then today was like high of 70. Now it's going down to like 50. But
Man.
yesterday it was rainy and like 50. We actually went down to the lake over here, and we were going to go kayaking, went paddle boating, which was kind of cool.
That is fun, yeah.
Went out to dinner a bunch.
I always get somewhere on the paddle boat and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Can I just be done with this? No, you gotta go back. Damn paddle boats.
One-way trip. I was telling Aaron we were heading in one direction. I said, but if we get as far as we want to go, we're just gonna park it and we're gonna walk back to the place and tell them, hey, you gotta go pick up your boat over there.
Go get your boat, dude. Nice.
Not going back against the current.
I never thought about doing that before.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good plot right there. All right, listen. So trust but verify. Go ahead.
Hey, that Tony Morissette, man, DM me. I got some questions for you.
Yeah, Tony's he's look at all you guys in Florida. No, we're not all in. Well, yeah, Jeff and I are in Florida, and so is. Can I say that, Alex? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
He's in Florida. Yeah, we're all in Florida. We're Florida boys, but yeah.
it's too late when you say, hey, can I say that you're in Florida?
Hey, can I say you live? Can I say that I can run down to your house, or should I not mention that on the air?
Come on, bro.
Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just asking for someone.
You saw my message.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
No, I did not. It went
Told
by.
people to like and subscribe.
Oh, you told people to like and subscribe. That's
Like and
nice.
subscribe. Good job, brother. Good job.
Oh, there, I see it right there. Here it is. Here it is right there.
Yeah, the Yeti baby coin right there. There's Yeti baby
Alright.
coin. Nice.
Is he-
Make sure to
is
like
he
and
on
subscribe.
Twitter?
He's not. No, he's not on Twitter.
Okay.
He's just on YouTube. Yeti baby coin. Thank you for that. And appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get out of here, guys. Had a great night. Enjoyed it. Alex jumped out of the pool, threw a shirt on. He made it here in 3 seconds. And man, thank you for that. And Jeff, as always, we will be back tomorrow night. We run Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Someone the other day said, like, why do you do that? I'm like, because that's when we broadcast. Well, can I do it another time? I'm like, no, that's when we broadcast. I mean, we don't do other times. That's it. Go on with Jeff at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday if you
Every
want.
Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, that's it. We got people from all over the world that tune in. So
Yeah, smartest people in crypto, man.
Brightest.
These people don't play. They thought-provoking questions and answers and the whole 9 yards. So anyway, guys, that's it.
Alex, thanks for being on here. This is awesome.
Yeah, hang for a little bit. We'll wrap it out of this. But anyway, guys, that's it. So signing off from Alex, Jeff, Chip. We are out of here. We will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.
Well,
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.